Hello and welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted as always to be joined by Paul Kelly, and we're here reacting to the news that we've all been waiting for, really. That the huge undisputed light heavyweight championship match between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol has been made official. His Excellency announcing tonight that it's going to headline the Queensbury and Matchroom 5v5 supercard, really, on June 1st in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, great news there. And Paul, first of all, hope you're well. And yeah, just your reaction to this finally being announced. It's such a dream fight for the fans. The best versus the best at 175. Two what look like unbeatable operators. Yeah, just what are your thoughts on this one? First off.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, mate. I appreciate it. And yeah, mate, I think I speak on behalf of every single boxing fan around the world to say that I cannot wait for June 1st already. I think that, this fight has been talked about for several years. You've got a lot of Bivol backers, you've got a lot of Beterbiev backers, maybe even more so now after the Smith performance, potentially. And mate, yeah, like what's not to like? Undefeated against undefeated, someone with 100% knockout ratio against the last man to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez, who was looking unbeatable at certain times, and yet the level of Bivol and obviously you've got the skill level of Beterbiev, two really good amateurs, two really good pros, and mate, yeah, every single belt on the line at 175 pounds. What's not to like? But it seems that we got that undisputed clash last year with Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. We got now you and Palace, and then obviously we're hoping that the Fury and Usyk one goes ahead now at the rescheduled date of May 18th, I think it is. An undisputed clash, mate. That's what we want to see in boxing, isn't it? We want to know who the single best fighter in the division is, and that's what we're going to find out on June 1st between Beterbiev and Bivol. Yeah, mate, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I have to echo everything you said there. Really, it's a dream fight. For me, there was two dream fights in boxing for me. One of them was Spence Crawford. We got that last year, and the other one was Bivol Beterbiev. I just think you touched on it there. I think stylistically, the stylistic kind of dynamic of this one is absolutely fascinating. Beterbiev, one of the scariest punchers we've ever seen, below heavyweight. Bivol, the master boxer, the defensive genius. And it's just, I'm struggling really to call this one. It's just, I'm delighted that we got to see it. We'll get to a prediction at the end, but I'm really struggling to pick a winner and who'll come out on top in this one. But yeah, I have to echo everything you said there. It's great to see. And the Saudis are delivering again, after all they've done, all the good they've done so far for the sport of boxing, they're producing this as well in what's going to be a great kind of event in general. The Queensbury Matchroom 5v5. I'm very curious to see who else will be on that card because it's going to be a super card, really. But yeah, I just can't wait, and I think we're all the same. Another question I was going to ask you, like in terms of the winner of this fight, like it doesn't really get bigger than this. Where would you rank the winner before we get into a prediction? Where would you rank the winner of this one on pound for pound list? Compared to where you have them now, I don't know where you have them. Maybe top five. Maybe they're both top five. But whoever was to come out on top in this one, where would you rank them on your pound for pound list?
Oh man, that's such a difficult question to answer. Honestly, like you look at it and you think I had Crawford, especially after that Errol Spence victory.
Mm.
But like now you're thinking, when's he going to be? Pound for pound kind of has to be pretty recent in my opinion as well. Um, so it's a matter of when will he fight again? Crawford, will it be at welterweight? And unlikely will it be at light middle? Maybe will it be up at middleweight or super middleweight against Canelo? Who knows? So time will tell. But obviously, you still have to have Crawford up there. You got to have Usyk up there for his body of work at cruiserweight. For obviously now what he's done at heavyweight, you've got to have a Nue up there. Obviously, he's the obvious one. So, with those three, it's hard to maybe break into that top three, but the winner of Beterbiev Bivol is fourth at the worst. Let's put it that way. Behind those three, you maybe even have them. I suppose it depends as well, because if this is on June 1st and we do in fact see Fury Usyk, say Usyk wins that, you're maybe putting him at number one then.
Mm.
But if he loses, are you putting then the winner of this into the top three? I have both now comfortably in the top 10 at this moment in time. Um, Winner definitely top four or arguably top three. But I can't really. If yeah, I think that's kind of well to me. I think that's kind of glaringly obvious. You have to have the winner right up there.
Yeah, I agree. They have to be like as a singular win, whoever gets it, to have either Beterbiev or Bivol on the record, it's arguably one of the best wins in boxing, if not the best win, you know. And as you say, they're top 10 already at least, so they'll definitely be solidified in that top five, maybe top three after this one. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting discussion to be had. One more question I want to get to before we kind of get an early prediction. I'll squeeze this one in. Maybe I should have asked this before the pound for pound question, but there's a lot of discussion at the minute as to who is the kind of number one at 175. You know, you have Bivol who's beaten the likes of Canelo, but Canelo isn't really fully fledged light heavyweight. Then again, you have Beterbiev, who's beaten Joe Smith Jr., Gvozdyk, them sort of names, you know, legitimate light heavyweight. So I know it's a hard one to split them at the minute, but if you had to pick one, who do you think is the best light heavyweight in the world at the minute? Not who you think will win this fight. Who do you think is the best at light heavyweight?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, mate. I think my mind maybe actually changed after both of their last performances. I would maybe put Beterbiev now at number one, purely based on the fact that you know he kind of annihilated Callum Smith. You know, me and you were both firmly on the Mundo hype train there, and
Yeah.
we were both proved wrong. But no, mate, I think his performance was so emphatic. And you look at Bivol, and yeah, obviously he won every second of every round basically against Lyndon Arthur. But I think it was more like a sparring session. But then was that just because he wanted to get the rounds in? I don't know. I'd say on recency bias, I'd have to have Beterbiev at number one. That's not necessarily my prediction. I'm sure we'll come on to that in a minute.
Yeah, I do agree. To be honest, again, that Beterbiev is number one, like purely because, as I mentioned, he's beaten these kind of legitimate light heavyweights. Like Canelo is probably, yeah, Canelo is the biggest win out of the two, but he's not really a light heavyweight. You know, he's more middle, super middle. But Beterbiev has proved a lot more at 175 than Bivol, so I'll agree at that one. So yeah, let's get down to it. Give an early prediction. I know we're just it's fresh after being announced, but we've had a lot of time to think about this one and dream about the outcome of this. So what are you going for on June 1st in Saudi Arabia? Who's going to be the king, the undisputed king at light heavyweight? Is it going to be Bivol or Beterbiev? Who do you have?
Oh man, and you know what? I'm gonna go out there and say I've changed my mind on this fight, and since both have last fought. Without I know we're time sensitive here, but I was always thinking Bivol was going to win this fight. I thought Beterbiev was going to at some stage look like he was just over the hill with the age factor, nearly reaching 40 and stuff. But he just proved me wrong time and time again recently. You know that Smith performance was arguably the best he's put in recent years. He looked unbelievable. And I've always said Bivol would outpoint him and would have maybe looked good doing it. But see now, I struggle to find see a way in which Bivol can keep Beterbiev off him. So my early prediction, I'm going to go out and say I actually think Artur Beterbiev could stop Dmitry Bivol and will stop him on June 1st to become the undisputed champion, probably somewhere in the mid to late rounds.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but I have to agree with you again. You know, as I mentioned kind of earlier, the stylistic clash here is just fascinating. You know, it's a purist kind of dream. You know how well these styles are gonna gel, and I agree with you. It would it surprise me to see Bivol kind of outpoint him? Not necessarily. If there's one fighter in the world who's capable of avoiding that power all night, it's Bivol. You know, but I just think the power you can't. I just think no matter how good you are, you cannot get out of the way of this power. As soon as he starts landing on you, it's ungodly. You know, whether he lands on the chest or the arms, you're gonna feel it and he's gonna break you down like he does to everybody. So I'm gonna go Beterbiev as well, but I might I might go with a bit of a curveball here and say it goes the distance. I think Beterbiev might beat him on points, you know, to give Bivol his credit for his brilliance. I think he might drop Bivol once or twice. That'll be the deciding factor. But yeah, I'm going Beterbiev points for the first time in his career. So yeah,
Interesting, mate.
That's our instant reaction to the huge dream fight announcement of Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol for all the marbles at light heavyweight on June 1st in Saudi Arabia. Let us know what you think in the comments. You know, who wins this one? Who have you got? Where do they rank in your pound for pound lists? And yeah, don't forget to drop us a like, subscribe, follow on all socials, and talk next time. Cheers, Pot.
Cheers now.